Ladies and gentlemen, session on automated handling system and robotics. We have our speakers and the moderator here with us. We are going to start our special session on automated handling system and robotics. I would like to invite our panelist, Mr. Sachin Daware on stage. He is the sales and marketing consultant at Daifuku Intralogistics India. Please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Sachin Daware. Now I would like to invite Mr. Janakiram Annam on stage. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Janakiram Annam. He is the CEO at Hachidori Robotics Private Limited. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Janakiram Annam. I request Mr. Brendan Lacy to come up on the stage. He is the Senior Director at Armstrong, Dematic. Please give a big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. I request Mr. Sandeep Yadav to come up on the stage. Please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Sharpedge Tools Technology. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Sandeep Yadav. Now I request our moderator to come up on the stage. None other than Mr. Shankar, founder and publisher at Machine Maker. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for our speakers and the moderator, Mr. Shankar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, panelists, please take your seats, please. So, how is the Josh? How is the Josh? I think all are sleepy after having some good lunch. So, I will sit here. You can please go. So we will bring the Josh. Actually, this is a very interesting session we are going to have about the importance of automation in material handling as well as for robotics. And I am so happy to have such great experts in the panel. And then I'm sure all of you will have such great learning from this session. So today, friends, whoever is sitting in the front, I am representing you. So with all your permission, I am going to start this session. See, automation in handling is something what we are not listening today. Automation maybe with knowledge or without knowledge is there in the industry, especially in India. Or if you see, then when people were not there in Europe or even the other countries, they had to do automation. Today we are coming to a level where I think people will be knowing about ChatGPT. That is the way automation have gone, in our daily life, generative AI. And here again, we are coming to those challenges what a manufacturer face, be it a safety pin, manufacturing of a safety pin, or from there to a very big equipment. I was there at BLM Group. BLM Group is an Italian company manufacturing laser machines. So you need to see the equipments, and the components are so large. It is not small, and they are using ASRS, automated storage and retrieval system, to bring such big components. So automation have gone a very long way in India, but I feel we need to go a very long way, and that roadmap maybe, or where we are standing today, is what we would like to hear from you all. So in my panel, I have Sri Janakiram Annam. Janakiram Annam is a startup founder, and they have innovated an AMR. So I welcome him to the panel, and big applause to him. I am having with me Sachin Daware. He works with Daifuku Intralogistics India. They are a global leader in this particular section, and he comes with a lot of experience, especially working with the Indian manufacturing sector. I welcome him into the panel. We are having Mr. Brendan Lacy from Armstrong Dematic. And what makes him different is that he works in different portfolios in the operations, in the service, and not just in India. He was able to give solutions global. And that insights is something what will be very interesting for us to hear when it comes to how Europeans, how US, or how other parts of the APAC is thinking and how Indians are thinking. Welcome to the panel. And now we have someone which is very close to all of you guys in Greater Noida, Sandeep Yadav from Sharpedge Tools Technology, very near here, Gurgaon, and he will be talking more about the challenges faced by the people in the industry. Sandeep, welcome to the panel. To start with, let's listen to them what they are doing, starting with you.
Hello. As Hari Krishnan said, I'm the founder of Hachidori Robotics, and what we deliver is autonomous mobile robots for material movement in factories and warehouses. And what is our unique position or technology is we are the world's first company to do an AMR that works on indoor GPS, and that comes with a lot of advantages. And my background before Hachidori we started in 2020, early 2020. My background before that, I was part of NXP Semiconductors, where I used to work. That was the only company I used to work before, close to 23, 24 years, and in a product management, R&D, various roles. So 10 years in US, 1 year in Europe, rest of the time in Bangalore. So that's my background, and I would like to share my experience with you all. Thank you.
So he's Hachidori. So I met these people before couple of months, and I was asking, what is this Hachidori? Even I was thinking, is it a Japanese company? The name. So the Hachidori means hummingbird. So you can go to his stall, there is AMR going on, and if anyone comes in between, it hums.
So the reason behind Hachidori name is AMRs are supposed to be buzzing around in a shop floor and warehouse, and it has to do that accurately. And that's why hummingbird name and a translation in Japanese.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sachin Daware. I am working with Daifuku, and I will say that I have a pioneer experience into warehouse automation since last 20 years. So Daifuku is into warehouse intralogistics solutions, and they are top global leaders into their business. And in India, we are present from last 13 years and giving opportunity to various kinds of industrial customers like paint industry, tire industry, FMCG, and food industry. So we are delivering the best and efficient warehouse automation solutions to our Indian customers.
Thank you. Over to you, Brendan.
Thank you. It's great to be here. My name's Brendan, and I'd like to thank the moderator and all of you for attending today. Armstrong Dematic is a company I've been associated with for many years. I've over 25 years experience in Dematic and over 30 years in intralogistics. I started my career in Ireland in Europe and worked in many countries in Europe. I'm currently based out of Sydney, Australia, but look after operations for the whole of APAC across China, Southeast Asia, Australia. It's great to be in India. I've been here many times over the last 3.5 years, and the Indian business is fascinating. So I'm here to learn from your questions and help you where I can. Thank you.
This is a great story. What I think, what we should look forward, the kind of collaborations what Indian manufacturing can have with global manufacturers. So this is something amazing.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you everyone. My name is Sandeep Yadav, and I'm from Sharpedge Tools, and we deals in industrial safety barriers and flooring. So we proudly say we are the only one company who commits a 10-year warranty and lots of technical advantages.
Thank you. Sandeep wears many hats, so we will hear from him soon. So, starting with you, our topic is automation in material handling and robotics. Why do you think automation is required in handling and what is the role robotics can have in that?
So automation as a automation as a field, it has gone through a lot of changes, say Western world and also in China. See, if you look at where the GDP between India and China, it is only 2 or 3 folds. But when you look at automation, it is multifold difference. So there is a long way to go in terms of automation, and that is a scope that all the companies who are working in the automation have in India. Because there is there is a lot of opportunities, manufacturing is increasing, a lot of manufacturing is moving, or people are also looking at a second option compared to as a regional or geopolitical reasons, they are also looking for a second player as a country. So that gives a lot of opportunity in India, and automation it improves the productivity, but also increases the safety and multiple reasons why people choose automation. So because if you look at warehousing, we all look for ordering something that should come in 24 hours, 12 hours, 30 minutes. Without automation, it's almost impossible. Most of the fulfillment centers of Amazon or Flipkart, etc., can do this job only with automation. And that's why that is very essential for us to move forward, because the demand is only going to increase and not decrease.
Okay, so automation is an opportunity, and we will take this over to you, Sachin sir.
For me, automation is not a limited factor. It's an ocean. And normally, as per my experience, customer is willing to go for automation, and they are discussing, we understand various kinds of solutions. Normally what happens when we speak on automation, we should not restrict ourselves. Automation gives you lots of opportunities in different type of opportunities. Starting with, if we are talking on warehouse automation sector, starting with inward process, lots of add-ons, storage, handling, kitting, dispatches, then loading, unloading section. So we should not restrict on automation, because there are plenty of options available in automation, as well as plenty of opportunities inside a warehouse or distribution center. Like automation can be explained in a better way if we identify the entire process and entire operation. So not only focusing on specific areas, we can distribute our automation sector into various entry point to end point. So where you will find lots of scope and opportunities to discuss. That's my view.
Yes, Mr. Brendan.
Thank you. This reminds me of when I first came into the industry and somebody asked, what's the difference between a warehouse and a distribution center? Well, people talk about warehouse and logistics. With a distribution center, products going in and out at a far rapid rate. You have cross stock, you have 24-hour dispatch. You don't automate for the sake of getting a shiny new robot. You automate because the driver's speed, accuracy, labor savings, price of land, many other factors. It's not about saving labor. It's really about automation for automation's sake. If you're reading glossy brochures and you think you want a fancy robot, you're probably not going to have that distribution center serve you for the next 20 years. I'm lucky in that the projects I've done over the globe, any customer I ask to see again, 10, 15, 20 years later, the system's running. It evolves over time as the business needs. It evolves over time as the SKU profile proliferates, as people want more variety. So automation for automation's sake, without serving the need for your CFO, probably is not a good long-term career move. I can say that the projects I've implemented over many years and seen Dematic implement over many years has always been a success, because all the stakeholders get what they want out of it and everyone's happy.
संदीप, ऑटोमेशन आपके हिसाब से क्यों चाहिए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री में, स्पेशली लॉजिस्टिक्स एंड वेयरहाउसिंग में?
Yes, definitely. Automation is must, but India is growing very aggressively. We all know that. And if we talk about earlier, it was e-commerce, and now from last few years, quick commerce is also popular in where we are getting 10-minute delivery. So for avoid delay, for avoid we can say accuracies. So automation is the most important part, but India is still have very huge scope for implementation of automation, and because many factors are involved, like existing setup integration and commercial part as well. Many things are uh, integration with human activities, like we can say in India is very colorful country. So in India, in different regions, there is a different languages also there. Many regions, Hindi. If we talk about North India, Hindi is most popular language. When if we go in South, some language barrier is there. So I personally feel for automation, we should integrate our language things also, so that operators and users can connect with that, and there is a scope of fast implementation.
See, basically now the introduction is over. We know that who are the panelists and what they do. Now our real question starts, and when Janakiram, when you talking about, see, we found automation is having opportunities. It is what one should adopt. But why resistance? Why the fear? Why people are not able to implement automation in their places? Why the fear is there in the Indian manufacturers?
You can actually look at it in two different sectors completely. One is the warehousing sector, another is a factory, and factories are always associated with stores or some raw material stores or FG stores, right? In factories, when you are going to factories, people are completely busy with their day-to-day operations. It is difficult for them to think a longer term what will help them to optimize their operations. So it is not just a hesitation, but it is also how much mind share they can give for a particular project. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is whether the automation is going to create job losses. So that is another part that creates a fear, right? And if you look at the third part where people are, if you look at warehouses, there is another point that I wanted to add. The warehouses in India after GST are becoming bigger and bigger, because earlier the warehouses were distributed across many states. But if you're talking about one customer in Bangalore, now they are creating a warehouse that serves the entire country. So once it becomes bigger, then there is no other way than automation. But there is always a fear of job losses, or when I automate, will my operations, because now you have to deliver all across India. Now, if for whatever reason the automation stops working, then they have a problem in complete operations. Those fears, one is the job losses, another is their mind share, another is whether it is going to be predictable for their operations. So there are many reasons like that why people have a hesitation in automation.
You are telling that the Indian manufacturers believe in trust in human rather than technology?
To an extent, because that becomes predictable, because in term, you see, when you are implementing, for example, I was talking to a few pharmaceutical companies, right? There, if an ASRS, God forbid, it doesn't stop, but usually it doesn't stop, it stops, the entire delivery is stopped.
I think isn't it that some way an ignorance also plays the role? Because if you see the history, human can get fever. We are all humans, but ASRs do not get fever, right?
Yeah. So So there is just a mindset of people that automation, and it is also visibility that they have, how much they have seen ASRS or other automation products, right? Because that is a fear. If it stops, my operation stops. But if they are actually looking at other factories or Europe or US or many other places, right? It is already implemented where it is running, like Sir said, it is running for 20 years. So that mindset, that visibility will make a big difference.
Thank you, thank you. See, actually, someone have told me that, what is the reason of stress? And they told that stress is just nothing but fear. Fear of knowing or not knowing. So I think
Exactly.
what you are telling is that fear of ASRS or any technology working is just knowing or not knowing.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is your take? The fear in adopting automation?
Yes. Continuing to Janakiram, I agree with him. There are many issues that we need to highlight about the labor or availability of the material at right time. So apart from that, I think that there is always a fear of loss of market share. When I discuss with customer, they always think that when I will change my existing process or add some more thing which is not required as of today, but they are not thinking beyond. They have to think that after 5 years where I should be, or after 10 years where my business will be. So definitely there are other factors that we need to consider during the discussion stages. So customer demands his growth, and as a solution provider, we are always there to support them and advise them about the best kind of available solutions in the market. But what we found, customer is in the fear that if electricity is not available, if labors are not available, if I am not able to send, my software get fail, if the installed solution will not perform. So there are lots of challenges to us, what we discuss with the customer. Now the stage has come after this pandemic period, we have a good discussion with customer, and we can see that many Indian and listed companies are thinking of automation, not due to the experience what we felt in pandemic, but due to the growth potential. The digital era had changed everything, and their product can reach to corner of the India. So they want my product to reach to the last mile of eastern zone or northern zone. So definitely they are thinking their supply chain management policies and logistics, and definitely automation came in picture. So we have to explain them that every time educating a labor or training to a labor will not give the best results. So everyone wants my product to be available in the market as a fresh. I don't want a crisp product or the damaged product. So we have to give them the confidence that your product will be handled minimally, and the solution what you are going to get will give the best result, optimum result, and timely results. So your trucks parked in the dispatch area will get free within 30 minutes or 40 minutes max. That confidence we have to build. So normally what we observe that customer has fear about he will not be able to dispatch his consignments in a day, or he will not able to get the material which he has already stored. It may not get stored properly. So detailed discussions are required. We have to give lots of confidence and build a rapport with the customer so that he will understand automation is going to support him not only in growing opportunities, but he can reach to the end of any part of India.
So resistance to change is something what you find one of the obstacle. And second thing, you are also telling the trust factor also needs to improve. Let's
Yeah.
go to,
Thank you.
Brendan,
Thank you
yes.
to my colleagues here. Fear is a demotivator, and risk and opportunities are sometimes two sides of the same coin. A lot of people will talk about risk in their business. They don't talk about the opportunity. And in order to take away that fear, you really have to explore the opportunity as well as deal with the risk. If you look at somebody at the start of their automation journey, they're probably going from being in total control, selective racking, easy visibility of their stock, paper picking system, total control. You're surrendering part of that control when you've got PLCs and robots and software. But if you handle the ecosystem as a whole system, the mechatronics, the PLC, the WCS, the WMS layer, and you give them visibility, one, in the process of executing the project, and two, how they're going to run the operations afterwards, you can take away the fear. So what we've done over the last 25 years is take the journey with the customer and really understand their pain points. Also, as I mentioned earlier, these projects have to stay with a good uptime. So service, support, maintenance, spare parts, all the things you do for your car, you do for your distribution center. So approaching it as a long-term journey and exploring the opportunities is really important. I'll give a simple example of the benefits of automation that involves you losing control. When I was standing on site at Amazon in Barcelona many years ago, and I seen a product in the net of a sorter, I said, how do you deal with that exception? I knew the answer, I just wanted to see that the technician give the reply I wanted. And it was great to see the service technician answered and said exactly what I'd hoped. Well, we don't worry if something doesn't obey the laws of physics. Of course, it rolled off. They put on a product that fell as it went around the corner. But I know everything that goes through the scanner is going to be seen every 2 minutes. If I fail to see it, I've automatically reordered it. So any Amazon facility that we've done in Europe, America, has similar technology. We took away the fear of losing an item and automatically replaced it with the opportunity that the operator doesn't have to see something has fallen. The software knows, the algorithms know, we still meet the 1 hour delivery, we still meet the next day delivery. Now that involved surrendering control of visibility, but with technical visibility, commercial visibility, and making data work for you, you can drive data-driven decisions. So automation is about not just the mechatronics and the crane. I sometimes said to somebody, we move cartons, pallets, and information through the distribution center. It's how you handle that information provided to the customer can take away the fear.
See, actually, it's a great insight which you told, that automation cannot be controlled, a fear. And you see, if you see Indians, we would like to control each and everything. And definitely, if that is there, automation can take away the control. It will be, definitely we need to overcome that. Now, I'm going to Sandeep. संदीप, आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या है जो ऑटोमेशन को अपनाने के लिए लोग डरते क्यों हैं?
हेलो, यस, ऑटोमेशन अडॉप्शन के जो मैंने फील किया, काफ़ी आई विजिटेड मैनी कस्टमर्स इन ए डे और एवरी टाइम. सो द बिगेस्ट फियर इज trust on technology that earlier mentioned, and second one is commercial part. So in India still लोग काम कर रहे हैं, मैन पावर काम कर रहा है, बट वो टेक्नोलॉजी पे जो इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो nobody wants to do, और someone talk about रिटर्न कब मिलेगा टेक्नोलॉजी का. सो ये एक सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर है जो मुझे फील होता है, टेक्नोलॉजी ऑटोमेशन अडॉप्शन इन इंडिया. यस,
वो एक बैरियर होता है कि मतलब हाँ, जिसके ऊपर हम वी विल टॉक अबाउट द कॉस्ट फैक्टर, बिकॉज देयर इज समथिंग व्हाट मे बी कम्स इनटू देयर माइंड अबाउट दैट. और कोई डर आपको लगता है कि मतलब लोगों को है कि मतलब ऑटोमेशन लेने से पहले, अरे ऑटोमेशन लगाने से मेरे को ये हो जाएगा क्या? लाइक
वही बताया, टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रस्ट, कि ठीक है ऑटोमेटिक करेंगे, सिस्टम कैसे काम करेगा, कितने टाइम तक काम करेगा, सेकंड उसका मेंटेनेंस और वो सब चीज़ों का. तो आई थिंक दिस इज़ द फियर. और आई डोंट थिंक कि जो जॉब लॉसेस का और वो फियर अभी है, क्योंकि business owner wants to implement automation, but वो trust on technology and technology designed for Indian requirements.
उनको लगता है कि मतलब जो टेक्नोलॉजी अवेलेबल है इंडिया के लिए नहीं है.
No, yes. See, in India, यूरोप में इश्यूज अलग हैं, यूएस में इश्यूज अलग हैं, इंडिया में डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज़ में इश्यूज अलग हैं. सो इफ टेक्नोलॉजी सुटेबली डिजाइंड फॉर इंडियन रिक्वायरमेंट्स, इंडियन प्रॉब्लम्स, इंडियन इश्यूज, सो डेफिनेटली वो जो ट्रस्ट फैक्टर आ रहा है वो अभी बिजनेस ओनर्स को नहीं मिल पा रहा है उतना ज़्यादा. दैट्स वाई ऑटोमेशन का फियर आ रहा है, उसको अडोप्ट करने का हर्डल्स आ रहा है.
Mr. Brendan, I would like to ask this question to you because you are there in almost many countries you work. So what Sandeep is telling is that, see, you have a technology which is doing great in Europe, maybe US, maybe Australia, maybe different parts of Japan, even in Asia. But India is having a completely different system and they are afraid that that technology may not be feasible here. What's your view on that?
Good question. Products are products. SKUs are SKUs. Apparel, food and beverage in any country of the world. So a lot of people think that there's huge differences. There is differences within industries. And we really have to know pharmaceutical versus petrochemical, automotive spare parts, but we understand the customer's business. Then what you got to do is understand their unique business challenge, and every customer is different, every distribution center is different. So to say, you know, is cranes right for me or shuttles right for me is the wrong question. The question is automation right for me? And the answer is always yes. The answer is always yes when you want to automate. Now what you got to do in India, and I've seen it over the last 5 years from coming here, is it's a different part of the journey. It's a different level of automation. But the challenges that India has are the similar challenges that any other country. Skilled labor shortage, price of land, SKU proliferation, speed of delivery. It's the same in Japan, Korea, China, where I've been recently, is the same challenges. How we address them in India might be unique. And that's why at Armstrong Dematic, we have, you know, a partner that's been here for 25 years, can deliver, you know, the local solutions with the global technology and backing. So you really want to look at the unique challenges of the customer, but you'll find the challenges aren't that different. Some of the strength is not just in the solution identification, it's in the solution identification and the execution. And I guess as an ex-project manager, I have to make a plug for the execution and delivery. It's not about the sales brochure, it's about what you're going to deliver. And then after that, it's about the ramp up and the adoption. I remember 10 years ago in China, training people there, and we used to say with standard sorter and conveyor, the right product down the right lane, you get acceptance, you move on. Now with the complexity of goods to person systems and automation, part of the success of the project is not just the equipment supplier. It's the operator, it's the SKUs, it's the host system, it's your road network around the place. It's the skill set, it's how do you ramp up. So the first 6 months of go live is critical for us. We don't just pass the acceptance test and move on. So if you're on that journey with somebody and you understand the ramp up and what a successful ramp up looks like, then you can shorten that time, gain the confidence, and then everyone's happy. So it's not that much different, the challenge, it's the execution and the understanding of the market that's important.
I agree on that point. Still, I would like to ask you whatever Sandeep have told. He told in the beginning also, see, India is a very big country. Here in North India, people talk Hindi predominantly. But if you go way down to South, there are states which they do not understand Hindi. Even Europe is a very small country, right? I go to Italy, they use all their machines with the information system is in Italy. If you just go there, there is German. In Switzerland, there may be German or some other, France, French. But even here, not even a single people, it's a simple thing, language, because that is what we know. Our mother tongue, if a person, I know that many people in Maharashtra, they prefer to get the business done in Marathi. There is nothing wrong in it. Why there is, these simple things are also not able to see in a controller. Why that localized research and development is happening so that we can make our customers' life easier.
See, customer can be happy when we understand his requirements. So the language cannot be the barrier in that case. For example, we are the Japanese company, and as you are aware, Japanese are very stringent in their language. They want to implement everything in Japanese. But still, as a Japanese global company, we are very much open, and we are present in almost 70 plus countries. So every country has their own language, and we are present across every country with their own culture and language. So this should not be the problem, and we have to understand various issues of our customer. Main issue will be that we have to remove that fear from the customer's mind, implementing the best kind of solution and be their real partner, implementing various kinds of ideas. What we observe with the customer is that they have issues they discuss with you, and when you come up with some ideas, they want that this solution may not be sufficient or over automated, what they think. So this is the challenge where we have to discuss and take a second round or third round of discussion with their implementing team or engineering team, and understand their business growth potentials, their opportunities, and their business growth for the next 5 years or 10 years. So accordingly, the automation is not fulfilling only one type of opportunity. We think that we have to go in deep. We have to understand each and every issue, and a process to be automated, not a specific zone or specific area. So that will solve all the issues. Suppose, for example, we are discussing for storage automation, ASRS. So we believe that ASRS is not going to solve customer's issue. In fact, we will speak on ROI or payback period. So customer normally asks, what is the payback? What is the ROI? So normally...
I understand. Definitely, that is going to be the next question I'm coming. I'm just now literally talking about maybe small developments which can help a local operator. Would you like to take that question?
At a high level, there is a lot of cultural differences, of course, across India, but also when you look at globally, the cultural differences exist. And if you look at a shop floor in, say, Japan and a shop floor in India, probably they look different. And also people there in Japan or maybe in Europe, right? The discipline is at most importance in a shop floor. And in India, though it is there in certain places, but in generally, you don't expect the same discipline of shop floor team as in Japan. So now the question is, how automation requires some amount of discipline, right? Now, how you actually automate in a place where discipline as much as in Japan doesn't exist. And that is a difference in thought process that you have to go through, because the same discipline you cannot expect in a shop floor in India. And how you can still automate in India is a local solution, some changes that you need to make still to automate to that same level, though there is some amount of indiscipline existing in a shop floor. So that is a change in thought process that you need.
Okay, it is not just the language, but there are, as you told, that lot of other factors also which we need to consider. Each places different challenges. Great. So we are now pressed for time, and this is going to be the last round of questions. I would like all you to cooperate and give a very quick answer. Price. even what Sandeep told, ROI. Whenever we hear about automation, people tell that, okay, hey, ROI nahi ho sakta, it's better we can do it with maybe manual labor or whatever. Maybe this much I don't want. Can you give in bits and pieces? Okay, this is good, this I don't want. But again, automation is automation. How do you think the ROI factor plays in automation?
So ROI, if you look at it, each of the level in the factory or a warehouse, right? If you look at factory or the plant manager, the way that that person calculates an ROI is a lot different from if you look at CIO or CXOs of a particular organization. So it all depends on how you are expressing an ROI. Sometimes the ROI you can calculate with tangible and intangible. Not just the tangible, there are a lot of intangible things in an ROI. For example, if you look at in a warehouse where picking application is, the people are working for 8 hours and almost 2 or 3 kilometers an hour, 16 or 17 kilometers sometimes a day, right? Now, people will not actually come to work for a longer duration in that kind of an environment. So the ROI, you cannot calculate replacement of manpower, but it also needs to include manpower availability. When there is no manpower availability, is there my continuity of business? Will I be able to do a fulfillment of my orders in a given time? So a lot of other things will come into picture when you calculate an ROI, not just the human replacement. But those things at a higher level, if you go to CIO or CXO, they understand a lot better than a plant manager.
I think one thing what I am understanding is that people are looking at what's today's challenges. They are not putting the opportunity cost. Yeah. The kind of flexibility what brings to the table, the kind of growth what they can bring in is not calculated in the ROI.
Exactly.
For you, what this ROI means?
Definitely. It's a good point to discuss with customer that what they are looking beyond some extent of years or the opportunity to grow in the market. So normally what happened, we have to understand customer have many issues and pain points. So after addressing that pain points and issues, we came to know that customer will require this kind of list of solutions. So customer is happy to know that my issues will be solved after installing these solutions and implementing ideas into it. But when the scenario came on the table of finalization, customer doesn't want to implement everything, and that is the bad idea, I will say. For example, if customer wants to implement storage automation or material handling automation, it goes hand to hand normally in automation definition. Customer wants to automate a part of that, and he wants that I will implement in the phase 2 or in the next stages. So that's why customer will not get ROI. So we encourage customer to have a complete automation. In spite of that, we will suggest a modular or scalable solutions. In phases wise, we can implement another modules or scalability, adding number of solutions into it, which will give complete ROI. But if a part of solution is chosen, definitely customer is not going to get ROI. So we encourage customer to have a double thought or triple thought on the solution, what solution provider is offering, and implement the complete idea, which will give the limited, less period of payback, and return on investment will be good for them.
Thank you. Again, what you told that, that is where, the total system, they are not able to see that, view that the bigger picture. We are stuck in only the challenges, but not the opportunities. Mr. Brendan, considering the kind of experience you are having in different markets, how you see the Indian market and how they look at ROI?
Yeah, good. Like a traditional ROI model of how many heads am I saving if I automate, what's the labor saving, what's the payback, doesn't apply in India, and it certainly doesn't apply globally. The first thing people overlook when you're doing a brownfield site or a greenfield site is overlook the compelling event. What's the compelling event why I'm automating anyway? It could be the lack of land, it could be growth, it could be the need for automation goes beyond the simple ROI calculation. So you need to automate anyway. The ROI kicks in when I've already decided I have to automate. What's the best value for money in terms of evaluating the payback? But as I said, 10, 20 years is way outside the normal 3 years or 5 years that you'd be wanting. So the ROI traditional model of labor saving is secondary based on your compelling event. So you got to understand your compelling event. Then, as Sandeep said, with respect to compelling and non-compelling, tangible and non-tangible, safety. The more you automate, the less people are lifting heavy boxes. The safety, I've signed off millions of CapEx purely based on reducing labor handling and injuries, not on the fact that I'm saving the labor, I'm saving that grudgery. So safety is critical, speed is critical. You have to put those factors into the automation ROI and not just look at the many heads I'm saving.
So again, what I am trying to get the insight is, we cannot just sell a product, but what we need to do is we need to go and talk to these manufacturers, make them understand what are those challenges which they need to see beyond what is in front of them. As you told, that maybe an safety issues, maybe an accident, which can, it's not just the money, it is also the time, the loss of life, which is very, very important. Thank you. Sandeep, how you want to conclude?
Yes, my opinion is quite different. ROI is the important. No business owner will invest if they are not getting return of their investments. So yes, Indian manufacturers are ready to pay extra amount. No, they don't want cheap product. वो ready हैं अच्छा पे करने के लिए भी, but multiple times तो नहीं करेगा ना कोई भी पे. So I think automation को एक popular करने के लिए, अब हर जगह implement करने के लिए, we should, automation manufacturers should think about to bring price level as per Indian requirements or Indian standards. So yes, ROI, safety हमें मिल रहा है, हमारा काम फास्ट हो रहा है, एक्यूरेसीज हमें मिल रही है, बट उसके साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट का रिटर्न भी तो चाहिए ही ना सबको. सो आई थिंक ROI is important.
So actually this is a very good debatable point for any point of time. Thank you very much all the panelists for sharing your valuable insights and time.
So now I would request Ms. Radhika to please felicitate our speakers, our renowned speakers. Ms. Radhika from Mrs. Stuttgart, India. Please give a big round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. I request Mr. Sachin Daware ji to please come upon the stage, and I request Ms. Radhika to please felicitate him. Mr. Sachin Daware, Sales and Marketing Consultant at Daifuku, Intralogistics India. Please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Daware. Mr. Sachin Daware, I request. Please give a big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. I request Ms. Radhika to please felicitate Mr. Janakiram Annam. Please give a big round of applause. He is the CEO at Hachidori Robotics Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Janakiram Annam. I request Ms. Radhika to please felicitate Mr. Lacy, Senior Director, Armstrong, Dematic. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Lacy. Please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for him. Mr. Sandeep Yadav, Sharpedge Tools Technology. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Sandeep. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए, ladies and gentlemen, for our renowned speakers. I request Ms. Radhika to please felicitate our moderator, Mr. Hari Shankar ji. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Hari Shankar, founder and publisher at Machine Maker. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for all the speakers. I request you to please stay here for the group photograph.